Red Edition, welcome and a happy day. U.S. Mariners freed after kidnapping off Nigeria's coast. Kind of an interesting story here. There's so much piracy going on. Hundreds and hundreds of ships are boarded and taken and ransomed, and per year. I actually went to a movie here just recently with Tom Hanks in it. The name of the show escapes me, but hey, it was a pretty good show. But I couldn't help but wonder, and I know so many other people in the audience were thinking the same thing. I overheard some people talking, why weren't they armed? I mean, you see these little boats coming up, like 4 men got on a huge ship and took it over. I mean, why wouldn't you just blow them out of the water? I mean, they're fooling around with water hoses and different things, and I can't understand that. Just goodbye pirates seems pretty simple to me. Top court, this would be in Canada, the Supreme Court of Canada. They're doing conducting an historic hearing right now on the Senate in Canada. Prime Minister Stephen Harper's government has asked the Supreme Court to advise whether they, the government, can proceed to impose term limits on senators, create a process for electing them, and or get rid of the Senate in its entirety. I find this kind of interesting, amusing too, really. You have the people who supposedly make the laws of the land going to the court saying, can we do it? Why not just do it? You gotta mandate, for heaven's sakes. I mean, go in, man up, get the bloody job done. This amazes me. Let's have a meeting to decide when the next meeting is. It takes forever. People want the Senate gone. I mean, at least go in and make it better. Don't go to court and ask somebody else if you can do your job. What's up with that? If everybody starts asking somebody else if they can do their job, will you let me? Boy, talk about being at a standstill, and that's what's going on in Canada. In keeping with Canada now, the Conservative government is considering whether or not to grant battle honors to soldiers who fought in Afghanistan. That's okay. That's nice. Let me just digress from that a little bit, because I think about this, and I've recently have spoken to people who have gone to Afghanistan, and they say, isn't this great? We go there because the bad guys treat the woman badly, right? So we go there and we knock a few off, we wait a few years, and then we pull out and the war's over, and then the Taliban, they come back in and they treat their women badly again. What's up with that? And I said, you know what? You're so right. There's no point. You're supposed to fight to win. You're not supposed to pull your punches, because that's not a very good thing. I think, personal thoughts here, an opinion, I've been known to have an opinion, I think that rather than sending troops into a country like that, send guns. Lots and lots of guns, and send people to train the women to look after themselves. Send zillions of guns, and those women, the way they dress, they can hide a bazooka in their gown. You would never see it. The husband, the Taliban husband, comes home and gives her a smack, and she doesn't like it. Goodbye, husband. Pretty simple. It's kind of biblical, isn't it? Instead of giving you free fish, I'm going to teach you how to fish. And that's kind of what government should do, in my view. Obamacare. Obamacare is just a terrible thing. It should be called Ocamicare, because that's kind of what it is. Liberals are unified and indignant. They are indifferent to the cost of both the country and to the individual, and to the pain to the individual. To them, that's not even relevant. It's irrelevant. This is about the concept, because we need to control you, because we're smarter than you, because we're the left-wing whacks, right? To protect their agenda, they highlight every success story, no matter how dubious it is, and conservatives have to step it up. You got to step out and beat them at their own game. You got to trot out personal stories constantly, because they do. So we got to do it too. You got to do bigger and better. If the president gives a speech touting Obamacare, say in California, Fresno, pick a city, then what you got to do as a conservative, you got to contact every reporter within 100 miles, and you got to serve them up a menu of reality and get that talked about as well, because Obamacare is a disaster, not just in code on a website, but in concept and construction. Just saying. I called this phone number the other day, 613-755-2000. It's a Conservative Party in Canada. It said press 1 for English. I did that, and I got both languages anyway, and I'm thinking, what? I don't know that I care if there's 2 languages or not, but how dare you insult my intelligence by telling me I have a choice when clearly I don't have a choice. Let me end today with this. Hey, calm down. This is a lighter note now. The estate. Morris, he's dying. He's on his deathbed. His wife is with his nurse, his people with him, his wife, his nurse, his daughter, his 2 sons. He knows the end is near, so he says to them, Bertie, I want you to take the Beverly Hills houses. Grace, you take the apartments over in Los Angeles Plaza. Jaime, I want you to take the offices over in City Center. Sarah, my dear wife, please take all the residential buildings downtown. The nurse is just blown away by all of this, and finally the husband dies, and she says to the wife, my, your husband must have had such, what a hard-working man to have such property he's accumulated such an estate. The wife looked over at him and said, property, schmopperty. The schmuck had a paper route. I'll come back tomorrow. We're going to know for you from your right. See ya.